Hi guys, welcome to a new video. We also have a different office layout. You might not really notice it, but I literally moved the shelves from over there all the way over here so that the windows are in front of me, and now the light comes at me. So the light brightens up my face a little bit without me having to add any extra lighting in my office. But those reflections on glasses, if you have any tips on how to minimize that, or if it doesn't bother you, will you please let me know in the comments? Because it's driving me insane. I use the Osmo to film my videos and I can see myself, so I know if I can see the reflection, so can you. But I don't know, maybe it doesn't bother you. If you could let me know in the comments below, that would be fantastic. But we're gonna dive right in today. This is a short video. We're gonna talk about a book I recommend for children, and we're gonna talk about reading slumps and what to do to get through those reading slumps. So let's hop in. Okay, for the first book, this one is technically a children's book that I bought for myself. I would recommend you parents out there to buy this book for your children, or if you have a loved one in your family that you think would enjoy it, or if you want to buy a book and donate it. Personally, I would actually buy this book and donate it because there's a kid out there that just needs that inspiration that may never get it in their life, especially if they're in an orphanage or a foster home. So keep this book in mind, especially during the holidays when you're looking for something to buy and gift and donate. And it is, what would you do with an idea? I bought it for myself, like I said. It was to kind of, I guess, be a parent to myself when I didn't have that person in my life to say, hey, you can do anything. And it just takes a spark of an idea, and it takes someone else to say it because we don't hear it in our family. So I bought it for myself. Buy it for yourself if you want to. Do it. It's worth it. And if you want to donate it, buy it, donate it. Give it to your own kids. It is wonderful. Sometimes we just need a little spark in this world. And I will read it again. I keep it prominent on my business bookshelves so that I can see it and keep this is my idea. What am I going to do with it? Let's talk about hitting a rut. I don't like saying a rut because I do believe it's not a rut. I believe you can go read a graphic novel if you're stuck in your genre. You can read a different genre if you're stuck. You can go read a blog. Go read something else. You're not stuck. You might not be reading at this normal pace you would when you're on the ball, you're hustling and reading tons of books, but you read all day, every day. So you're not stuck necessarily in a rut, but you might need to shift. And so it's where you read, what you read, make those things happen. And that happened with me recently because I was reading tons of fantasy. I just finished a lot of Robin Hobb, T. King Fisher, Piers Brown. Granted, that one's got a little more sci-fi than fantasy, but the point is I needed something shifted from that. I first went into Bone Ships to keep up my reading the first book of every series I own this year. And I am listening to this one now. So I changed how I'm reading it, put it on audiobook, and I'm about 9% in, so I'm not very far. As I realize I'm in a genre rut, and so I'm listening to it very slowly while doing laundry or whatever. But I will say I am enjoying it. It just, if I'm not careful, I could see where I would allow myself to be stuck in this monotonous push. And I don't want this book to be that way because I have a feeling this is going to be such a great series. And I don't want to rate it lower than it deserves because I read it at the wrong time. So what did I do? I went back to my roots, okay? Forgive me, I went back to suspense. My first Riley Sager book is over here. I love being able to pick up my books off my shelf now instead of just being way up there. The only one left, this was a very obscure book, but I loved it. It was simple, it wasn't hard. It took me out of I'm reading complicated things of complicated places with complicated twists and turns. I'll fix that later. But it took me back out of that by going into The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Going back to that easy, suspenseful, edge of your seat, the woman is drowning in the lake and you don't know if it really is what it appears to be. I'm already 16% in picking this up last night. So immediately that rut we call a rut broke. I was so into it. I didn't really want to go to bed, and I caught myself getting kind of antsy, and I knew it was time to put it down. I am reading it on my Kindle Paperwhite. I do have a pop socket on the back of it, but that is the Kindle Color. I've done a video on why I returned mine. That is my 4th Kindle Color. That is a video for another day, a conversation for another day. It just really did lift me. I was enjoying it. I enjoy any type of whodunit and why did this happen and twists and turns, and you think you know what's going to happen, but you really don't. And it was just so much fun to read again last night. I haven't read at night in over a week. That's a long time for me to go. I'm like at the point of almost risking my weekly reading streak with Kindle. So that was kind of scary. But last night fixed it, and I'm really happy about that. Another book, this one I read 23 or 24. I'm really not sure. I know it was written in 23 because I already looked at the copyright, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is suspenseful for the fact it's a witch story. It is actually a woman trying to get away from a situation, and her attacker tracks her down, but she's got the roots of witches behind her. It's a 2019 Undercover of Darkness. Kate flees London for a ramshackle wayward cottage inherited from her great aunt she barely remembers. It was such a good story, and I don't understand why when she wrote Sirens, the Sirens, I apologize. I am very bad about leaving out the word the, and you'll catch that in all my videos. But the Sirens, I didn't see this being talked about, and it came out, I want to say last week. I got my hands on a copy. It's not as, let's see if I can do this one-handed. It's not as pretty as the Wayward book. It's just a basic black book underneath the cover jacket. But they both have, which I just kind of just caught this, both have I'm probably not going to be able to make this one do it, a shimmer to them. The gold foils highlight really beautifully. The sun's also going down a little bit, so my reflection in my glasses are getting worse, but also you can't see this as much as I'm trying to point out. I love a good story about Sirens. Sarah J. Maas had Sirens, I believe, in A Court of Thorn and Roses, just briefly, but they played an important part. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Sirens being the main character, main theme. I am really nervous about that, and I don't do well with underwater stories. They just bore me. I don't know why. I'm actually dreading Crescent City's next book because I have a feeling that was going to be underwater, but she's done it right so far, so I hope she continues to write the underwater scenes really well. And that gives me hope for this one as well. It's less than 320 pages, so even if it's kind of rough, I think it'll still be good because of who is the writer. I think it's going to be good no matter what. If less than 320 pages, I can definitely, muscle through. But I want to thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and stick around so you'll get alerted the next video. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.